Hey masculine energies, how are you doing today? I hope all of you are doing well on this Friday. By the way, happy Friday and welcome back to my channel, Masculine Empowering Oracles by me, Maglitas. As I said, I hope everyone's Friday has been going well. I am back to give you guys my masculine energies, a little inspiration, a little motivation, something encouraging to take you not only for today, but also into your weekend ahead. Are you ready to be empowered? Are you ready to step into the warriors you were meant to be? Well, you are on the right channel, as it is my mission to do just that, to empower you, my masculine energies for encouragement as you all need it. All right? So with all that being said, let's get right into your reading. This video will be short, something brief and to the point, something I just want to come in to just give y'all something to reflect upon. Going into your weekend. I'm not going to keep you long. Let us just cleanse our energy field at this time before we get started. All right, so I cleansed our space at this time. And so with that being said, we are going to get right into your reading for this Friday. Something that, like I said, will be something inspirational and something motivational for you to reflect upon for your weekend. So I pulled out today, I only pulled out one card from both decks. Like I said, I don't want the video to be long as well. This is Friday, and so I just kind of wanted to just get a brief message of something of light and love for you guys. And so the card that I picked and chose for today was an archetype that describes that archetype as being a provider, nurturing, a caregiver, even a protector. When we think about those qualities or those labels, who do we identify that archetype with? None other than a father, right? So be it a husband, be it a father to your kids, being in the family circle, a father is looked upon as being the provider of the home as well as the protector, right? So how can you masculine energies get by understanding the role that you play in your environment? Being a father is a wonderful thing because it gives you a sense of care where you are caring for your family and you are being the sole provider, even if your spouse works or what have you. But generally in the household, we have that man figure who kind of is he creates a safe haven, if you will, for the environment, right? And so when you have that, sometimes providing a safe haven and being a provider sometimes can be overbearing because of the duty that you feel that you carry in society and in one's own environment. Sometimes it can be overwhelming. And when that sense of overbearance come upon you, sometimes balance can sometimes be thrown off. And so it calls for a need to kind of step back and say to yourself, okay, are the people involved that I am protecting, that I'm looking over, how do they feel? Do they feel restricted? Do they feel like they don't have the freedom to still be their own individual person? And so this is what we're going to look into briefly in terms of the role and what father means and how even playing or having that role can sometimes affect how we should look at it in terms of even being modest or having moderation and having a balance with being the father or that role. All right? So let me show you the card. So this is father. And so again, as I said, father just doesn't have to just be about spending time with your children. It doesn't have to involve at all in terms of tending to your children. Being a father also can extend on the outside of your environment, because when you look at father, figuratively speaking, the essence of it is of a masculine energy that is like a warrior, where he protects, and he protects his family, friends, and whoever is in his arena, so to speak. He protects it. And so, as I said, sometimes it may be physical, sometimes it could be emotional, it could be different variations in how he protects those in his environment. But again, there's a need to not be overbearing. Sometimes as a parents, whether it be a father or a mother, can be very overbearing, right? And sometimes if we are too on and too strict on our kids, sometimes it's like we may be holding them back from really learning about life itself. Sometimes we do have to kind of shorten the leash that we have on them, so that they can grow and to become into their own, so to speak, and learn from the experiences that this world have. Now, at the same time, that don't mean that we just neglect or forget about them and just have them to go about their business, because there is some type of supervision, especially depending on their age. But the point is that as parents, and particularly as the father, because the father figure also comes across being very strict in the home, right? But in terms of even perhaps our own parents, it might be where you are overdoing it, always, having this strong bearing type of energy toward them, where it's like, okay, son, thank you, I'm okay, So it's like, where do you cross the line? How is the boundary between being and maintaining that role? How can you balance it? All right. I hope all that makes sense. But let's go into the book and get further meaning about what father is about and how you can show or practice moderation in this role of a father. All right. So again, father is reliable, supportive, giving, acts of service, leadership, even mentoring. It says the father strives to be compassionate, generous, benevolent, and supportive. His selfless love encourages the potential of others. He shares his gift without the need for payment or recognition. He is an advisor, a healer, a leader, and provider. At his core, the father seeks safety and security for those he loves. He makes personal sacrifices to create a supportive environment. This can sometimes be a lonely and underappreciated role. If the father expects something for his work, it can lead to resentment and push the father into the shadow aspects of the deadbeat. If love and support are given without attachment, then the father archetype can create deep healing for others. One of the most challenging tasks for the father is finding the balance between protection and freedom. If he overprotects his child, community, or loved ones, it can turn into a dictatorship. But if the father is too hands-off, his loved ones might not have the structure they need to grow. So as you can see, there's a need of balance there between giving too much freedom, there's a thin line, but also perhaps not giving enough freedom. So like I said, there's a balance that needs to be made there. It says this may make them feel unsafe, abandoned, or uncared for. Rather than safeguarding people from harm, the father should try and teach them how to find growth from adversity. You connect to the father archetype through nurturing others, yourself, or the world. The archetype is the supportive voice that wants the best for you. Consider how you support others. What responsibilities are you hiding from? Do you allow loved ones their freedom? How could you be a guide to others' growth? And that's exactly what I was saying when it comes to our kids, but even to other family members. You know, do you give them room to grow on their own? Do you give them that space to be able to solve their own problems, to figure out ways to resolve an issue where they don't have to always rely upon you? Not that it takes away anything from you as being a provider, but it just shows you that in being a provider, there still is a boundary, a form of moderation that has to be practiced so that things are balanced. And when anything is too much, you know the saying, anything too much of anything is not good, and that affects any area of life or life itself. Too much of anything is not good. So there calls for moderation, even in being and taking on the role as a father. And I think that's a message for everyone, regardless of gender, that too much of anything in life and dealing with people, our connections with our family, with our children, if we become too overbearing, it can sometimes have a cause and effect, so to speak. All right, so that is your archetype message. And so in pulling a card from your spirit guide says to practice moderation. So you see how it connects and go in very perfectly with the message of Father, that there's a balance that is called upon. If in fact, like I said, if some of you would know how this will resonate. This is not going to resonate with everyone. So some of your fathers, you would know if this will resonate with you, if you tend to. And it's nothing to be ashamed about. It's not a negative connotation either. It's just a little reminder to say that, you know, sometimes as parents, and it's understandable, especially in this world, that sometimes we have a very, short leash on our kids. So sometimes it calls for us, within caution and knowing the environment by which we are in, if we can sort of stretch out that leash a little bit, to just give them some freedom along the way, because they have to learn, you know what I mean? So to be overprotective, to be overbearing, like I said, sometimes can hurt an outcome or can hurt or harm, but the results that we want to get from anything that's going to be of positive results should be done in moderation. All right, let us go into the meaning further about practical moderation as we wind down your reading for today. As I said, I want it to be short and to the point. All right, so your spirit guide says practice moderation. It says you have chosen to incarnate to this physical dimension to enjoy and partake in experiences you could not have anyone else. In all things, whether in spirit realms or on earth, balance is key to everything. Moderation simply means avoiding extremes in all things. You must learn to conserve energies and bring moderation in order to live a fuller life. Express yourself more clearly and cultivate the gifts of your spirit. If this card appears, you need to examine what aspects of your life seem to overshadow the rest. Too much work, too much food, and too much stress are all common areas to keep a watchful eye on. You are a precious being, and you need to understand that it is your responsibility to bring yourself to a state of balance and moderation, or suffer the consequences. Cause and effect. In life, there should always be a sense of cooperation with others. You are experiencing a time in our civilization that is saturated with stimulation and technology. It is therefore imperative to stop and be mindful of the moments that you are living. Simplicity in all things, mixed together with a sense of balance in everything you partake in, makes for a happier and longer life. So that is very well said. And as I mentioned before, this is an attitude that we all should have as a whole in life. When it comes to whatever it may be, we should practice moderation. Too much of anything, it's never good because it gets out of hand. And if it gets out of hand, especially in the environment that we are in with other people, it can definitely be detrimental in a sense. And there can be some resentment as well along the way. So practice moderation, be balanced, even as fathers, as parents, whatever role that you play in the home, be modest, have balance. All right? So I really hope that that message for this reading for today was very helpful. I hope it was encouraging. If it was, and it kind of resonates with your story, you find that at times you can be a little overbearing. Well, like I said, it's not a negative connotation on you. It's just giving you a little nudge to say, just pull back a little bit and just try to find a balance, even when it comes to the roles that we play in society and within ourselves and in our home environment. All right, so if it did resonate, if it is your story, you know what to do. Drop me a comment, let me know. As well, give me that thumbs like button to like this video. As well, subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. And last, share with your buddies to get them on board, to get some encouragement and motivation. I hope the message for today, for this Friday, will be something that you can truly reflect upon. If it doesn't resonate with you, and you know someone that actually perhaps need a little nudge and to kind of pull back a little bit and not be too overbearing, put them onto this video. Let them get some insights and some inspiration along the way. And until our next reading and our next connection, I am feeling the Fridays type of energy here. I'm just ready to relax and just kind of mellow down. So as well, I hope everyone will have a very relaxing, a positive Friday, but as well, going into your weekend, I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. And think about some of the things that so far that this channel have brought to you. It's also a good time, if you have nothing else going on, to kind of go back to my videos, reflect upon some of the messages there that might be very helpful for you, or like I said, put them on to your friends to kind of, you know, give them some encouragement if that's what they need. All right, so until the next time, I'm wishing all of you a wonderful weekend ahead and enjoy your Friday. All right, everyone, peace, love, and light. Bye.